All right, so today we're diving into some pretty intense stuff.
Yeah.
Some heavy hitters
Yeah, we got the big guns out.
from Genesis, Psalms, Corinthians, and the Gospel of Luke. All these texts are sending some pretty powerful messages about, trust, forgiveness, and love.
Yeah, it's really fascinating how these ideas kind of transcend, any one specific religion or
Totally.
time period.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like these are
Yeah.
core human struggles.
Yeah, exactly, because we've been grappling with these concepts for millennia,
Yeah, for sure.
trying to figure out how to forgive, how to trust.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Let's start with Genesis, okay?
Okay.
So we've got the story of Joseph,
Yeah.
who gets betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, right?
That's brutal.
It's like talk about family drama, right?
Yeah,
But then he ends up rising to power in Egypt,
right.
and then years later,
Oh, boy.
his brothers show up,
Of course.
totally clueless that he's the one they wronged,
Talk about a plot twist.
right? What a tense family reunion,
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
This story, it's not just like a revenge story.
No, not at
It really
all.
gets to the heart of...
It's really about forgiveness, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Like Joseph could have totally taken revenge.
Absolutely.
He had every right to.
Totally.
But
He
instead,
chooses compassion.
yes, he chooses compassion.
It's really remarkable.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it's a level of forgiveness that most of
I
us...
can only dream of it.
I know, right? It really makes you think, like, what allows someone to reach that level of...
Of letting go.
Yeah, to let go of that anger and that hurt,
Mhm.
I mean, think about a time you've been wronged.
Oh.
It's natural to want justice, payback, even this...
Yeah, absolutely.
But Joseph, he sees the bigger picture, right?
Mhm.
He recognizes God's hand in his journey
Yeah.
and acknowledges that even the painful parts led him to where he is now.
Yeah.
Like he's saying even the bad stuff had a purpose.
Exactly. It's like,
Yep.
forgiveness isn't just about the other person. It's
Mm-mm.
about freeing ourselves from the burden of anger and resentment,
Yeah, it's like you're holding yourself back by holding on to that anger.
Exactly.
Okay, so we talked about forgiveness. Let's
Yeah.
move on to trust.
Okay.
Psalm 37 tackles something that I think a lot of us have felt at some point, that frustration when it seems like the bad guys are winning.
Oh, yeah, that feeling of like, why do bad things happen to good people?
Exactly. And this song, it speaks directly to that frustration.
Yes.
And it urges us to trust in a larger plan, to trust in God's timing.
It's not easy, though, is it?
Not at all. Like, how do you reconcile that feeling of life isn't fair
Right.
with this idea of, like, trusting a higher power?
Yeah, it's a tough one.
A tough one.
Well, I think that's where the concept of inner peace comes in.
Okay, I'll listen.
The song, it encourages us to focus on our own actions,
Yeah.
on cultivating righteousness within ourselves.
So not getting caught up in what other people are doing,
Exactly, yeah.
not comparing ourselves.
Yeah, not comparing ourselves to others.
Okay, so it's about shifting our focus
Mm-hmm.
from external validation to internal growth.
Yeah, I like that, from external to internal.
Interesting. Okay, so now for something completely different.
Okay.
We've got Corinthians, where Paul compares our earthly bodies to seeds,
Seeds?
destined for something greater.
It's a powerful image, isn't it?
It is. It's a really powerful metaphor.
Yeah, he's talking about transformation,
Mhm.
about a reality beyond our physical existence.
It's a concept that, resonates across a lot of different spiritual traditions.
It does.
Like this idea that our essence, our soul, doesn't just disappear,
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're not religious.
Yeah.
The metaphor of a seed transforming and blooming anew,
Yeah.
it can be really powerful.
It is.
It makes you think about life and death in a whole new light.
Absolutely. It's like
Yeah.
there's hope, there's something more.
Exactly. There's something beyond what we see here.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of challenging ideas,
Oh boy, here we go.
let's move on to Luke,
All right.
where Jesus tells us to love our enemies.
Love your enemies.
That's a tall order, don't you think?
That's a tough one, yeah.
It goes against every instinct we have for self-preservation.
It does, yeah. It's like, why would I do that?
Right. I'll admit, like, the idea of loving your enemies seems almost impossible to me.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that just setting yourself up to get taken advantage of?
Yeah, I mean, it's a valid concern,
Yeah.
and it's definitely been debated for centuries.
Right.
But I think what Jesus is getting at is
Yeah.
a different kind of love.
Okay.
It's a love that transcends those personal feelings of hurt or anger
Mm-hmm.
and seeks to break the cycle of hatred.
So it's not about being passive
No.
or letting people walk all over you.
No, not at all.
It's about embodying a higher way of being, like reflecting a divine love that's unconditional.
Yes, exactly. It's about choosing compassion over retaliation, you know?
Still a challenge, I gotta think.
Oh, definitely a challenge.
But a powerful concept nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a powerful concept.
So, wow, we've covered a lot today.
We have.
Trust, forgiveness, and radical love. All these weighty themes woven throughout these texts.
Yeah.
And they're clearly more than just nice ideas, right?
Oh, yeah.
They offer a profound shift in perspective.
They really do.
Like these teachings, they invite us to move beyond a transactional view of life, where we're always focused on what we deserve.
Right.
And instead, they point us towards a perspective rooted in surrender and health.
Yeah, it's about letting go of that need to control everything, you know?
And trusting that there's something bigger at play.
Exactly.
It's about tapping into a deeper wellspring of love and compassion, even when life gets tough.
Even when things are hard, you know?
Exactly.
That's when we need it the most.
That's when we need it the most, yeah.
Yeah.
So, wow, what does all this mean for you listening? Like, what resonates most deeply with you? If you were to pick one of these teachings to focus on this week, trust, forgiveness, or radical love, which would it be and why? And then, what's one small step you could take today to put it into practice? Something to think about, and we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, let us know.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a really thought-provoking conversation.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Until next time.
See you later.